What's happening, people? Welcome back. I got a new trim. See, just for the final. Nah, I'm joking. I didn't get a trim for the final, but I'm happy to be back with you guys. 4:30 p.m. Usually it's 3:30, but I had to get my special guests on to preview the massive game today. So making sure you sub to me, follow them on their respective channels as well, which will be in the description below. And also, you can see the sub count just there. 1,400 subs is pending. We're 99. I think that's a bit old now. So I've become 90 away. So I'm going to change that. Some Ekatike. I know I'm a bit late, so a lot of you will join the stream later on down the line. So hopefully you enjoy it. But yeah, man, I want to know when everyone joins this or the playback, which will come out in roughly 45 minutes when the stream ends. I want to know who thinks we're going to finally win it all. Who thinks we're going to finally win it all? Because I think there's a large possibility that Chelsea can do it, man. Neil Gunner, big up the chat and the panel. Yeah, man, they're coming. Robert's here in the background. He's waiting. Yeah? But Neil, the algorithm's a bit slow, so I need you to hit the like button for me. Support the movement. So I'm saying put your comments in. Let's get that done, man. And I've got the news here. In case any news pops up, got my screen right in front of me here to go through it with you guys as well. So great stuff, man. But yeah, let's get the man, the myth, the legend in the building. Robert is here. He's here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Pleasure. Yeah.
Robert, man.
Pleasure to find
you said backstage. You've been causing problems. Why are you doing that for?
Huh?
Why are you causing problems?
I don't cause problems. I just rep Chelsea to the core, innit?
No, but the thing is, a lot of the things I need blue tears. They can't like. I'm a hater today. You come to the wrong space because me and Rob are quite positive when it comes to Chelsea, man.
This is as toxic as positivity can get.
You know what it is? We'll start with like overall stuff, and then we'll get into the game. Don't know how long you've got. Put in the private chat for me, Robert. What time? How long you've got roughly? Yeah, if you can do it for me. But I was gonna ask you, yeah, as well as that, while you're doing that for me, yeah. How do you feel that you made UCL? Because you've seen the video that CB did, yeah? Where he's like, Robert, what are we gonna get? You're like, win, bookmark it. That's the line. That is the line we love.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How do you feel about that you actually right? And obviously, being right doesn't matter, but when you've indicated about the trust you put in your team and stuff, how do you feel about that?
No, man, I think a lot of people kind of were down on us when we went through a bad stretch of games of form. And in my opinion, we've always been closer to the team that we were in the first part of the season than the team that we went through that 10 or 13 game stretch. And so I think people kind of went way too far to the left, and I kind of just felt like after the international break, I felt like it was a good break that was needed. The injured players were gonna come back, and we were gonna go on run of.
Who did we play again before that break? Who did we play again?
Arsenal, I believe. I think we played Arsenal and lost 1-0 before the.
Oh yeah, Moreno header.
Yeah.
And before that, we were in good form, so a lot of people are optimistic. But like you said, we had no. Why is it when we go to Emirates, we never have our full team ever, innit? Remember 5-0 last year? We had all the rubbish players, and the narrative they push the narrative out because you lose 5-0, and nobody cares, innit? Like,
nobody cares, yeah. Was that
rubbish?
Was that the Emirates, or was the 2-2 at Emirates? Am I tripping?
Yeah, so that was last season. This season it was 1-1 Neto.
Neto 1-1. I think 1-1 Neto.
Yeah, Neto 1-1.
Was it
last season? Last season was 5-0 and 2-2. Yeah. So the 5-0 actually happened after the 2-2.
Yeah,
we actually performed well with the 2-2. And that was during our run. We were actually doing well against big teams. Last season against big teams was undecent.
Yeah, we were decent against big teams. I mean, a lot of draws, but I think we're decent against big teams.
Yeah. We've had an issue. Even we're positive, right? But even we can say we haven't beaten big teams in the league for a long time. Other than Spurs, it's not been great, innit?
No, it hasn't been great. But Spurs is the one like you can guarantee you can bookmark. Like
hey, that's a bookmark.
Yeah, Liverpool, there's going to be a draw there. United, there's always going to be a draw there, no matter
Yeah, 100%.
what. So, yeah. Man City and Arsenal have kind of had the better of us the last few seasons, but I think
Yeah,
that's
and
going to change.
what do you put it down to that we actually made top four, or do you think it's so? Obviously, for context, people listening, everyone hit like button for me. Robert, also one more favor, put your Twitter link in the private chat so I can put it in the YouTube description. 'Cause a lot of people do join these streams. I'm a
Yeah.
bit later today, but I usually pick up around 15 minutes,
Oh,
so
fair.
they'll definitely follow you up. But they don't know who you are already. But anyway,
No, I think what do I put it down to? I think that stretch of 13 games that we went through, I think Moresca, I think if around February or March said we are a better team now than we were in December. And that is exactly why, because we weren't pulling 1-0s, very, very, very often in the first in the first part of the season. I think the grit that this team and the resilience that this team kind of grew into in the second part of the season. I think that's the main reason why. I think at the beginning during that stretch, we would go 1-0 up at halftime, and all of us are nervous, like, oh my god, we need a second goal. Like, by going to the United game or the Forest game, or what game did we play before that? Like, the United game, Everton, Forest, you can go 1-0 and we can kind of hold on to the results. And
yeah,
so
yeah.
resilience that we built, that's kind of what has made us helped us to go and
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah,
And what I questioned Robert was, I backed the sporting directors identifying quality. I was disappointed we didn't get Duran and we
facts.
didn't get Elise, and I think main reasons for that is they didn't want to risk it because we didn't have UCL football. Now we've got it. Hopefully, we can get the players we identify, like
Yeah.
Ekatike. People melt down, but the same players, Robert. I say this to all the people, and it's perfect to say to
Hmm.
people laughed. We were linked to Duran. People laughed. We were linked to Samu. People
Yeah.
will laugh. We were linked to Due, right? And now
Yeah.
look, you see. So my point is that I believe the squad was good enough, but it was the mentality I wasn't sure about, and even you could agree with that. We haven't beaten Big Six teams.
Mm-mm.
We in the last few years, other than Champions League, what have we really accomplished in terms of we've not really got over the line at all. So
Yeah.
I was nervous because I've never seen it, and this season though, they proved me wrong.
Yeah.
They actually went to we actually beat Liverpool for once. We
Yeah.
beat Man United. We
True.
beat Everton.
True.
All these teams could have easily been your scouting team is solid. Godfrey, but you're real with it. Godfrey's a really good a viewer of mine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not everyone's like this, Robert, innit? Our Chelsea fan base is
Yeah.
really toxic.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think a lot of our fans kind of like to live through the prisms of rivals. You know what I'm saying? And so they're gonna see
Yeah,
what
oh, that's true.
what a rival does. Like, everybody was lauding Aston Villa for going and doing crazy madness in January
Yeah,
and say, okay,
yeah,
this is how a big club moves. We just sit here. We can't even recall Andre Santos and all that stuff. And so our fans look at that and say, well, they're ambitious. We're not. Where sometimes it's not always about addition by addition. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction. And so I believe one of the things that helped us, get over the line is that everybody in that dressing room was pulling together. There was nobody, like, even Nkunku. Nkunku wasn't, is the one that we consider to be like, is the one odd man out. And during the stretch, Moreska kind of say, oh, no, he's injured, blah, 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 but he didn't even make the
he
squad.
didn't out him. It's a great point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So it was about, we don't want the Joao Felix here if you're not gonna be 100%. You don't want to,
and Vega and Vega.
one foot in, one foot out. No, we don't want that. We want everybody that's gonna be here to pull together in the same direction and go and achieve what we want to achieve. And that is what helped us go. Imagine if you still have Joao Felix here that you have to appease, or a Vega
Mm,
that you have to appease. Then you get the dressing room kind of melee that's unnecessary. But with this run of form, you go into it with everybody, like, no matter whether you're playing, even KDH is there happy to help the team and all that stuff. And so
facts.
I think that is one of the reasons why. we we got over the line. And so our fans will look at that. Oh, look at Man City, they got Marmoush and all these players. Oh, look at Villa, they got this. Why we lack ambitions, whatever. And if Asensio or Rashford scores a goal, oh look, they helped them get top 4 or whatever. At the end of the day, we need top 4.
You know what?
League.
That Asensio point is perfect.
Yeah,
They were all saying, "Why didn't we get anybody? It's a big
yeah,
risk. It's a big risk."
yeah.
Now no one say anything. You see what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
guarantee, Robert, next season, if we hope, let me ask you a question. I'm not going to assume if we did get, because a lot of people are saying, the Eunices and all that, who we speak to, Matisse, we need to get a lot of experience. If we bought Ekatike, right? Let me just give you a hypothetical. Ekatike, Petrovic in goal. You know Marco Gila we're linked with? The guy from Lazio, the centre back?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say we get him. And we get, who's the left winger who we're linked with other than Garnacho? Let's say Garnacho. I know you talk about Garnacho. I saw that, yeah? If we got those,
yeah,
do you think we could title challenge next season under Maresca?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see why not. I think everybody's looking at it like, oh, Liverpool's going to get Wirtz and he's going to get there and replicate exactly what he's doing in the Bundesliga. I, for one, do not believe he will do quality player, but I think he's going to take some the pressure of the transfer fee and the pressure to deliver right away. I think it's going to get to him a little bit, and it's going to take him some time to adjust to the league. And so they're going to see what they're doing. We see Man City getting linked to Ryan Shirky and Morgan Gibbs-White. Am I impressed?
Yeah, it's not.
No.
It's not that great,
And so I'm just looking at it like we finished the season with the third best defense in the league, and you and I can recognize our center back play and our goalkeeper play was below what's required for the levels, right? And so if you give him better center back play, you give him better goalkeeping play, you give him a winger that's more threatening than Sancho on the left wing, and
more direct,
and a striker competition for Jackson, that when Jackson drops in form, that striker can come and complement. And you also have a number 10 who can be there and supplement for Palmer when Palmer drops in form. I believe next season, bro, we're gonna have enough adequate squad depth and competition going all around, and even this level of experience thing. Like we bring in, I think our recruitment strategy has been we recruit the best players, the most talented players, and they will acquire experience. That's
along the way, together. Yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan.
Now you have a Caicedo. Guess who else is coming this summer? Esugo. Esugo is raw, right? Guess who's gonna learn? He's gonna learn from Moses Caicedo, right? We get Kendrick Paez, and he's playing into the advanced role. Guess who he's gonna learn from?
Enzo Palmer.
You know what I mean? And so you get, even if you bring in an issue, you got Cucurella that he's gonna learn from. And so that's the experience.
Yeah, it's conveyor belt. Yeah, it's true.
It's a conveyor belt. And now you get this 16-year-old we get from Brazil, Denner, is gonna come, and Cucurella is there to learn from him. And you get, again.
But who's this?
We got Denner, I believe, is 16 or 17-year-old left back from Brazil.
Did he sign for Strasbourg?
No, we signed him and he's still in Brazil. He won't come.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
see?
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. Even I can't keep up.
And you get Kenda. Kenda comes in next season. You got Pedro Neto there, Portuguese international, and experienced winger that he can lean on and learn from. And so that is what we that's how we want to operate, and not just
it's smart. It's smart.
Experience. I mean, we've gotten Sterling before. Look, all of us are stuck with Sterling.
Koulibaly,
Aubameyang. All these men thinking they're gonna come here and bring experience
and make a difference, and they did nothing.
Make a difference, and they haven't.
It's about quality, man. Look at this, youngest team in the league, right? Literally, and we made top 4. And people saying, do you know the reason why they were saying you can't do it? Literally because of the ages. And I was thinking, but the quality is good enough.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Robert turning Ches into a believer. Solomon, you already know I've been saying. You know what's ironic, Robert? On my channel, they call me Clearlake Inner and all that. That's what they call me.
Yeah.
That's why I like Robert, because he says a lot of things that I say. But I think Robert has a lot more logic with it. Yours is a lot more. You look at these things, Bremer coming in. Exactly. I didn't even see the Bremer like I didn't see it like that. You project settings. It is, but like me, Robert will explain. it's a strategy which hasn't been used, but why can't it work? People
Exactly.
just read it off because it's never been done before, isn't it, Robert? They just
Yeah.
said, you spent 1.5 billion. Who do you spend it on, please? Look at who we bought it on. Young players, like you said. And even someone said this earlier, how far away from Arsenal? And someone said the point going, but Arsenal's team are all in their prime. Our players are like the oldest ones at Pedro Neto are 24.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
We're calling Tosin at 26, 26, 27.
That's what I'm saying. He's 27. That's not old at all, by the way.
Yeah.
Robert, they call him in the squad Uncle Tosin, like Uncle.
That's Uncle Tosin. Yeah.
Cucurella is now a vet, and he's only like 26. He's 26.
Yeah.
You see?
And that is this first batch of players was always gonna be the toughest round, right? Because they didn't have any experience to lean on, and they're the ones that were trusted to gain the experience. And so we had to spend a little bit more on them, on the Caicedo, because it's quality, the David Prem, Enzo Fernandez, and all these, and Cucurella, and all these, and all these guys. And so this was always gonna be the tough stretch because they had to amass the experience on their own. But the ones that are coming, the Kendas, the Esteval, the Denners,
Santos. We forgot to say Santos.
Yeah, and the Kendry Paez, the Anselmino. These guys are not coming here just with nobody to lean on. All of them, they got experienced players. Experience, well, not like Kevin De Bruyne experience, but experience nonetheless. Like as I said, Isugo has a Caicedo to learn from, and Kendry Paez has an Enzo Fernandez to learn from, Kenda has a Pedro to learn from, and so forth and so on. And that is the experience that you need. Anselmino, you have Tosin there, the Unk to help you and to lean and you can lean on them.
You make a great point about the first batch, because obviously we got all the inexperience, and Rob will agree with this. Me and Don say this all the time. The end of Roman wasn't good.
No,
innit, Robert? Yeah,
it wasn't.
See, the end. We got Ahmed. Yeah, hey, you got the ball as well. Yeah. The end of Roman wasn't good, Robert. Ahmed will tell you this. Don will tell you this. We'll go on my channel. But Robert, you know what it is? The Chelsea fancy on Twitter. That's where a lot of them made their accounts when Chelsea were doing very well. The height of UCL during lockdown, everything was very good. We're signing Lukaku. It didn't work out. They weren't signing the right players, weren't recruiting correctly. But now, because they stripped that all back, Robert, and it's the first batch of young players, they don't know how to deal with it. They're like, well, why aren't we winning trophies? They're all young. That's the whole part of the plan. It's not gonna work in 1 year.
Yeah.
You don't sign players for 9 years, or you have a business or project or you have children. You don't just, they're born and you got to do this straight away. It's not how it works. Development, time. You see?
Yeah. No, you spot on. You spot on. Yeah. Big up, Hamed, for by the way.
Big up to you, bro, man. Listen, I know Robert's a famous guy, man, around these parts, man. You know what I mean?
Everyone knows about Robert, man. Robert's flying the flag. Robert's the guys on YouTube. You're the Twitter guy. We're the YouTube guy.
Robert's Mr. Positivity, man. The streets know about Robert's for sure, man. We know that, man. Big up to
Robert's. Robert's in our realm now. This is our space. We're bringing him to our space. Robert teaches me. Yeah, he teaches me how to throw them. Yeah, Bill Ahmed. Yeah, everyone in the chat showing love though.
But you spot on though, in the sense that the end of Roman, even from who we're recruiting, the Lukaku's and all those guys that we recruit toward the end of the Roman era, the Kai Havertz, the Ziyech and the Pulisic and the Timo Werner, it wasn't all great. You know what I mean? It wasn't all great. I mean, we lacked into a Champions League win, but overall, nobody was looking at Chelsea and be like, "Oh my, we're scared." I mean, they were scared because of the name Chelsea. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like this squad is scaring anybody. Like Man City weren't waking up in the morning and be like, "Oh my God, we got to deal with Liverpool and Chelsea." It was more like, "Oh, we got to deal with Liverpool." And so it is. I think the narrative around the Roman, and that is what our fan base. Zappacosta, facts. I mean, that one goal, one goal in the Champions League, legendary.
That run he did on the right, and then
he just
banged it in.
secondary. But in the end, though, I think this is what our fan base struggles with. I think the biggest struggle in the fan base is people making the transition from what we had with Roman, leaving that behind and accepting we had it good, and leave it there, appreciate it, and leave it there.
You know what? You know what I like to call it as? I think there's three things, like three objectives together. But I also say I think people need to realize we had a unicorn of an owner, and I think obviously towards the end it wasn't working out greatly in terms of like transfers. But I think the irony about the Roman towards the end of the Roman era, I always says that I think our academy became really good toward the end. We didn't utilize that enough, in my personal opinion, to an extent. Even though we started to use it a bit more under Lampard, but I felt like it was still being slightly underused at the time. But then I think the lack of sporting director, particularly post Emanalo, I think hurt the team as well, right? Because yes, Marina can she make a good deal? I won't deny that she's obviously done a great job in that department. But then if you look at the transfers from our head scouts and stuff like that, you clearly see there's like a major decline in that aspect at the end of the day. But one thing I will say is that in terms of the way I look at in football, it's always there's expectations, then there's reality, and then right. And I think a lot of the time, yes, the expectation at Chelsea Football Club may be we have to win our Premier League every season. That's the kind of expectation being brought up for the last 20 years. But we then have to also look at the reality of our situation, where we are at, who is our current ownership, what is the way that we currently do things, right? And so from there, you have to look at it and then be like, how can we get there with the guys that you've got up top? That's just the way I try to look at stuff. At the end of the day.
Spot on. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. We know this though, and like Robbie said,
no, but Czech wasn't even a recruitment guy. I'll be honest, Czech wasn't really a recruitment guy. Czech only recommended one player to us, and that player helped us to win a UCL. I will never.
Sure. Mendy, recommended Mendy to us.
Yeah, right. And again, with Czech was more so a player welfare. You saw it. He was still playing with the players, like in training and stuff like that. He was more so looking a caretaker of the squad more than anything else. I'd probably say.
Yeah, and we'll speak about more in depth now on not the game. We'll speak at the game in about 10 minutes' time. It's a good conversation. We're all on talking about Chelsea and development. And I want to speak about some players who stepped up, because I know we spoke about the squad.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Colwell? What do you think about Enzo Fernandez? What do you guys think about Caicedo? What are we saying about Noni, who's playing? I wouldn't say Noni's played like a massive role, but I like the way Noni's just ticking. He's having he's having 6 out of 7 out of 10 performances. You know what I mean, boys? Where he's just making the right decisions. We need him to improve GA. Kind of Esteval and all that will come in and give him competition for GA and stuff is important.
Yeah.
But I like the way our squad. Robert said before, man, you already agree with this. You speak all the time, but how there's more continuity. Everyone understands their role. With the fact we have no strikers and we're still just chilling in the game. We're not under mad pressure. So what are you saying, Robert? What player other than Caicedo have you been most impressed with over this last run in particular? The last 2 months.
It's got to be Cucurella, ain't it? Like
Cucurella,
he's been a madman. Like the goal winning, the goal winning against Man United. I mean, I was personally in that game, and that's probably why I give him a little nod. Defensively, it's been incredible. Whether he's asked to invert and not go forward too much, like against Liverpool, he was just asked to chill and watch over Mo Salah a little bit, not go forward a little bit, and he just does the job incredibly well. Like against Leicester, he won us the game. Against United, he won us the game. Like his ability to get, he's becoming a goal threat now. Like we cross it, and we know that our biggest threat from at the end of those crosses is Marco Cucurella, and so I think he's been incredible. And honorable mention, as you said, to Noni Madueke, and this is why I don't give credit to. I don't listen to when people tell me, "Oh, we misused Nkunku. We didn't play him in his favorite position." I don't get that, because I seen Noni go from right wing to left wing and do a job. I've seen Neto being played as a striker and did a job. I've seen Tariq George be brought on as a striker and did a job. Actually, and so you can't come and tell me Nkunku, because he's not playing in his favorite position, can't do a job, right? Because
you're saying on him.
The thing with Nkunku, I'm gonna have to listen. I think with Nkunku, it's the way he plays. 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 It's the the way he plays is a bit more limited. That's the one thing I probably would say about him, right?
Yeah,
And that's why when you've got a guy like him that's a bit more limited in his play style, unlike Madueke, I think because he can, I think the thing that really helped Madueke this season was his ability to play on his right foot. That's why he can play a bit more, but much he can also play just as good on the left. But I think with Nkunku, he's a little bit more limited, and so you have to kind of, make the squad help him out, if that makes sense. If you know what I mean, that's the only different levity I would give to Nkunku in my eyes.
Yeah, no, that's that's a good point. Maybe he's a more limited footballer than maybe he's not as versatile as the other players are. And I think also the players that you can give a shout out to. I think Sanchez was quite immense during this run in. He was solid. Like watching that game against Palace,
He was, yeah.
That game against Forest. It's like the aerial threat, the way he was just his cross collection, he just nullified them. Like the saves against the saves against against Everton, pretty clutch. I'll give a shout out to
he made good saves. That was the one game where we under a lot of pressure.
Exactly. Like Liverpool improved, also stepped up in his game during.
I think United as well. United they applied a lot of pressure in the first half.
True that.
And he didn't.
But I'll concede that he stepped up a little. He improved during the stretch. Hey, big up Tosin, man. The last two games, the way he came in and did the job. I think you gotta give credit to the entire squad. Maybe the only one that kind of underwhelmed is Jackson, even though he won us the game against Everton. But you feel like Jackson could have done more. It's could have probably should have avoided that red card against Newcastle.
Yeah, of course.
He's the only one that you can say, you can look up and say he's the only one that didn't come, that wasn't didn't step up when we needed him the most. But I think everybody else, Rich James, Cucurella, Tosin, Liverpool, Chalobah in certain games, Sanchez, Enzo Fernandez, even Cole Palmer without the GA, he was still kind of in and around. Pedro Neto was good. You can go throughout the entire squad. Tariq George was immense against that goal against Fulham to spur the comeback. I think the entire squad, and this is why I believe it was good to get rid of those who were kind of unhappy in January. So when you get to this point, kind of just everybody's pulling.
Yeah, and you know what? When you're mentioning, you guys know, when you mention all the players, there's only one person you got we could credit to is the manager. Clearly, the manager.
Exactly.
He gave them a siege mentality. Everyone's writing you off. We're all gonna contribute. And like Robert said before you joined, even the players who we clearly know are leaving and aren't good enough, he hasn't made them upset and disgruntled. You see them in training, you see them on the sidelines, happy for the team. Even when we won against Forest, Badishile came jumping on the pitch, and Nkunku jumped on the pitch, and none of these lot are playing.
No,
then they should be unhappy. But he's made it so where everyone's got a team spirit. Everyone feels like they've gone one goal. And I'm sure today they'll show fine. Hopefully, our final record has been really, really poor the last 4 years. Really, 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 really poor. No wins. So hopefully tonight, we can perform.
But with that one, I think a lot of that also has to do with that, it's been at Wembley, our last 4 finals, if you're being fair. I think in Europe, we've been quite consistently well in finals, right? I think our last loss was what, United, no? In the final?
Yeah, we've won every single European final since then.
Yeah, so
won the Club World Cup, won the Super Cup, we've won the Champions League, won the Europa League.
Exactly. So I think,
and he's to interrupt you. Even when we performed in the Champions League last, we did well with that team. We finished 12th, and we still lost against Real Madrid 3-4-1. Yeah. Even then, and they won it.
I'm going Kante playing number 10.
Kante, we had.
Oh my god, that was actually criminal. That was.
We had a terrible team. Terrible.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. I was like, listen, tonight I think it's gonna go swimmingly tonight. I'm not too worried about tonight. I'll be real. Obviously, yeah, I'm not really too worried about tonight. I think tonight's gonna be quite smooth sailing. I think for me. I think sometimes, bro, when a team finishes the season strong, like the way we've done, right, and you're going into a final game, it's always a good confidence booster. That's what I always say, in my personal opinion. right? And so I think in our case, we're finishing the season strong. We're going into that endpoint really strong, right? That's a big help for us as well. And plus, we've got a lot of our fans that also coming. Are gonna probably be at the stadium too. They're gonna push on the lads too. I think I think for me it's gonna be a good game today. I'll be honest.
I agree. I think the game today, Real Betis is winless in the last 5 games. Like the last 5 games at the end of the season, there were losses there and a bunch of draws. So they haven't been in the greatest run of form. When you compare it to us, who have had won 4 out of the last 5 games, and so I think if we score first, it's just a matter of how many more can we score here. And I think I'm with you. I think tonight would be more of a smooth sailing. People want me to be scared of Anthony now because he's playing Betis. Now I should be scared.
Everyone said about Anthony, innit? Everyone's
like, yeah, man. I mean, we all due respect to Anthony, bro. It's still Anthony, innit?
Yeah, hey, Robert, it's not even about for me. It's not even. For me, it's not even about whether or not it's Anthony or not. I just listen. All I've got to say, yes, they can have other guys in their team. It's about having confidence in your own team. Do I believe my team can get a job done? Yes. As long as Jackson doesn't start, in my personal opinion. That's the only
right. We're going to talk about now.
Yeah, that's the only caveat. That's the only caveat I'll probably give. But only because I know Tez knows my opinion. I really do think, with Jackson, sadly with him, it's been an attitude problem with him, and I don't like to use that a lot, especially particularly with black players, because considering that label's not a great thing. But with him, his attitude has really declined towards the end of the season. He's not been great at all. And the thing is, Somali Flame is a regular commenter on my own channel. He knows I was one of Jackson's biggest advocates when he came up to the club. But I just feel like the decline in the second season, some of the stuff that's happening now, right, as well, consistently getting yellow cards, not controlling the lack of control from his emotions, right? Then the fall off has been really poor from him, bro. In my personal opinion, I feel like with Palmer, I've always said that his fall off has also been quite bad. But the one thing I can still give him is that he's still working for the team. He's still fighting for the team. I find with Jackson, you know what I mean? That's not even been the case. You know what I mean? I have to say, man, that red card that he did is really it's unforgivable. In the era of VAR, where they can see what you did, what he did, it's just criminal behavior, in my personal opinion. So
I hear you, but Robert, do you feel like he's obviously apologized to the squad? Apparently, Maresca said that he let the team down, and obviously he said apologize to the squad. Would you bring him into we're going to go through starting 11 in like 2 minutes, but just on Jackson, what do you think about him this season? And with 2 strikers apparently rumored to come in, is it looking like he needs to step up, or he's going to have to move different positions? What do you think about Jackson for next season and moving forward?
Look, I'm one of the biggest Jackson fans that you find around. I don't think we win this game without Jackson. That's just my personal opinion. I think people might say we look, we've won the game without Jackson. If you look, we struggle to create chances without Jackson. Like against United, we're struggling to get a shot on target without Jackson. Against Forest, same thing. Like you can say he misses chances, but the volume of chances we create with Jackson, even in the last patches when he's been, people say he's below par. Yes, he's been below par, but we still create mad chances with Jackson there than we do when he's not there, right? And so I think people are doing a little too much on Jackson. This is his first red card as a Chelsea player. Like Rhys James got 2 last season. Nobody questioned whether Rhys James was involved it was invested in the team or not. Like I think first red card, and it's not like we don't see this every. Like I saw Kulusevski elbow Lavia and get away with it. I see Joe Linton clothesline people and get away with it. And even Maresca said it. I think maybe the crowd influenced the referee a little bit to get him sent off, because you see these challenges all over the place. And I saw it who Havertz came in and did exactly the same thing against Newcastle, against the same player, I think it was against Botman, and then he got a yellow for it. And I think we were doing too much just like, it's inexcusable. He should have done. Obviously, he should have done better. But let's not act like players don't do this. When you kind of you look where you see where the player is, and then you kind of lead with your elbow.
Of course they do that, yeah.
all the time. But people in the Chelsea fan base acting like Jackson's the first player that's ever done that, and it's unforgivable that he did that.
Yeah, and it was frustrating. I know what you're saying. You're saying it happens, and if he keeps doing it, then you're going to be annoyed with him. But
Yeah.
it
If
happens
he
once.
keeps doing it, then I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
it happens once, but people going a bit too much.
going
Ahmed saying,
going into next.
I think for me, yeah, but what I would say to that is that I think, yes, that might be true, and I agree with you on that. But I think the problem I have here is that you're playing away. It's Newcastle now,
this
and
is a good point.
and then it's also it's a big game for us, right? We already 1-0 down. We were kind of, things weren't going our way at that moment in time. You didn't need to add to it. That's what it comes down to for me. Again, that's the way I look at it more than anything else.
Yeah, no, I hear. I'm not excusing what he did.
Of course, no, I know. Yeah,
obviously, it was stupid. He shouldn't have done it. But my thing is, we were lumping it. We were already conceded from playing short, right?
Mm.
And so we stopped playing short because Lavia got stripped off the ball and we conceded 1-0, right? For some reason, Lavia gets away with it because he didn't elbow anybody, but he just gave away the goal, at the grass. But I think on Jackson's part, we start.
I get your point.
We start lumping it long, and he was losing every single aerial challenge that he was facing against Botman, which you would expect him to do. So if I were in Jackson, in his mind, he probably think maybe I need to challenge him a little bit more. Like maybe I'm being soft on how I'm challenging for these headers. Maybe I need to be more aggressive in challenging the headers, and maybe trying to give us a chance where we can win some of these aerial duels, and we can get up the pitch. I kind of get where he was coming from. If maybe he just got tired of getting bullied in the air and wanted to.
100%. But
again, I'm not excusing the action. I'm just saying I kind of get where he's coming from, and the overreaction. Obviously, it was an important game. I don't think he went into the game and said, "I want to be sent off in this game, and I don't want to play for the rest of the season." But I just think that people,
I understand,
interpreted that into he doesn't care about the team. He's not involved in the team. He doesn't want us to be successful. He's just selfish.
Yeah, people saying that are obviously going too far. Yeah. They're going too far. People are saying, like, I don't know what it is. The only reason why I am looking a little bit differently, Robert, I know because Ahmed agrees with me, is because during these games, we need to speak about starting 11 because Robert's only got 50 minutes left. Also, people, we've got half my likes for viewers. So can we make sure we're hitting the like button for me right now? And also Ahmed's channel's below and Robert's Twitter's below as well. So both their channels and their respective socials are below in the description below. Yeah, so make sure you do that. Okay? We're going to go through start 11 literally after this segment on Jackson. Big up, Chairs, Ahmed, and Boxes. The goat, Robert. Hopefully Robert can come on when he can. I'll give him a shout because Robert's class, man. But and keep doing your thing on Big Six. I always tell you. Keep doing your thing. Because even the other day I watched it and they were giving salt to Matisse. They were giving him salt. And I was like, where's Robert's super chat? Calling them out. Yeah? I need to stop putting the super chats myself. But anyway. Yeah, it's just, what it is, Robert? It's not just Newcastle. It's just I feel like he's not making runs as much. He's kind of given up a bit in the last few months, not just weeks. Like I don't know what it is.
I don't know if did you see that news, Robert, by the way, that came out from Pies even yesterday? I actually just saw it now. Apparently, he himself is a little bit unhappy at this moment in time as well. So I don't know, man. I do feel like his time at the club might be coming to an end if we bring in those two strikers that's been alleged. So I don't know, man. I've always said if the club gets a good offer for him, he probably will leave because there's a good market for a mid-table striker right now. That a lot of those clubs need players, a player of his value.
This is the thing. This is the thing with us as Chelsea fans, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like one time we complained about recruitment, saying, "Well, we're not getting experience." Then we get a player. He struggled one season, say get rid of him, right? Then it was Jackson. It's Noni. This season it's Jackson and Gusto. Sell them because the struggle.
No, don't sell Gusto. I repeat that one. I disagree at all.
Yeah, movement of get rid of Gusto, right?
I saw that, and I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
To Joshua Champong, like we've become that. Oh, he's struggling this season. Sell him. Give me somebody new. Give me a new flavor. Like, what do we want? right? Do we want continuity? Do we want experience, or do we want somebody to come in? Because I guarantee you, the new player you're gonna want to come in will come in and struggle in the first season as well. Then you're gonna want to give it to them at the same, after a while. And so I think the Jackson hatred or slander is kind of going a little too far. And I'm quite sure. I've always been of the opinion that we're gonna start the season with 3 strikers next season because
Ooh, okay.
Jackson's gonna be gone for a month, and AFCON is smack dab in the middle of the festive fixtures. We're gonna need.
Oh, so you think we're gonna get some? Because so you're actually expecting 2 regardless of
Oh
Jackson's
yeah,
situation.
no, I've been expecting 2 regardless. I've been expecting a Kitike or maybe Jonathan David on a free, right?
Yeah.
And so you have you that's been my expectation. There's no world where I can consider see Chelsea selling Jackson. And if they sell Jackson,
Same.
the way I believe they rate him, you're gonna have somebody to pay 80 million pounds for Jackson. If we ask
100%.
for Nkunku, how much do you think we're gonna ask for Jackson? You know what I mean?
Nkunku's gonna go for a lot of money. Let's just trip back.
I think Jackson, you can easily get 50 M's for Jackson. I'm pretty sure you would agree with that. No?
No, Chelsea would not even entertain 50.
You think so?
No chance. No chance. Solanke went for 65 and you think we're gonna sell Jackson?
That's fine, but the problem is, listen, I would have heard the 60 million shout if he had got another 50, like 15 and stuff like that goals, right? But because he kind of I think he's got 10 goals this season in the league, right?
Yeah.
I think obviously that kind of hurts him a little bit. That's why I would probably say maybe that 50 million mark ish, it might hit. Plus, the club would probably be doubling their money, wouldn't they? At 50 M's.
No, well, no.
Nah.
He was going for like 32.
Was
that not in euros though? I thought it was like 28 million pounds.
I think it was 35 million euros, which is about
30.
Fair enough.
30.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
No, they're gonna want a lot of money. If Ekitike is going for 80 million, 75 million, their minimum Jackson in the Premier League, African international, at least 60. At least. Anyway,
60 at the very least is probably what we if discount is 60, 65. But I think Chelsea's gonna be asked for 80.
They'll probably ask for 80, probably similar to Ekitike.
Yeah.
We're going to speak on it now because we're going to go through the starting 11, the team we would choose. This is the fun part of the show. So make sure you hit the like button, make sure you're subscribing. Robert's not too long, sorry. We'll see if I'm in a bit after, but Robert's got to go soon. So spending his time with us. Let's go for starting 11. We're going to go with, hope everyone can see the screen right here. Hopefully you can all see this. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. So we know we don't play this formation, so I'm going to change it. What we're going to go for? Is it this one?
Yeah,
this one here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
4-2-3-1. So we know Ahmed and Robert can interrupt with them if they want. We know Jorgensen's starting, isn't it?
Facts.
Jorgensen's starting, right?
Yeah, he already confirmed it. So yeah, he's so for sure we know that. We know Jackson's starting too, by the way, as well.
We know. But how do we know Jackson's starting, guys?
Because he said it in his
yeah.
He said
did he?
Yeah, he did.
What today?
Yeah.
Today in the press conference, isn't it?
Yeah, today.
Give me the quote because I don't have time to get the whole thing. What did he say then, Robert? What did he say? Did he just say I'll give him another chance?
No, he said hopefully he's gonna play tomorrow and hopefully he helps us.
Yeah.
Just asking if Jackson is playing tomorrow, if he's starting tomorrow, and he said yes, and he hopes that he's apologized to the team.
Yeah.
He makes amends tomorrow during the game.
Okay.
On the quote for you somewhere.
I'm bringing it up for you right now, bro.
I saw Gusto's doing an interview. Does that mean Gusto's gonna start?
Maybe you would have seen
that. Gusto just released an interview just now.
Yeah, you probably would say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
By the way, guys, we're going for. Should we do what we want or what we think we're predicting? What do you
probably should do? Probably should do what we think or what is gonna probably happen. It's better off if you do that.
What are you saying? Should we do what we predict he will choose then, rather than what we actually want?
What he would choose? What?
Okay, let's go for predict 11 then. Yeah.
Just quickly on the Nico Jackson quote from Enzo Marescas. I hope so. He is ready. Nico is in doubt with his teammates because in that moment, Newcastle away for us the most important game. He left his teammates with 10 players for 1 hour. For sure, he is in doubt. He's a good player. He's a good guy. He recognizes his mistake. Apologize to his teammates. Tomorrow, he will do a very good game for us. So that basically means he's starting.
Okay, and Gusto's obviously talk about I just saw Ahmed tweet about how his mentality. So, Rob, if you haven't seen that, he just basically said, "I've not performed good this season," which we all know, and he's trying to bounce back next season, which is really good to hear. Let's start Mudryk. I love Mudryk, man. He's smiling.
You know the manager. Do you know what's funny? The players and the manager didn't even know that Mudryk was coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's really sad, man. That's sad.
It's sad, but at the same time, it probably means that he's not even been in the training ground, bro. Do you know how bad that sounds? Like
he's not allowed in the facility.
Yeah, he's not allowed. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he's not even allowed.
Wait, why is he wearing his Chelsea kit then? Make it sound like he's
doing a John Terry, man. He's doing a proper John Terry.
When he's wearing the kit, I'm thinking, they know he's there and he's just there early or something. He's just there with Chelsea kit.
You know that he's eligible to get a medal, right?
That's why he's there.
To walk up there and get his medal in his full kit.
I don't think Chelsea will let him do that though. I think they'll do it behind, because there's an option for them to do it behind closed doors, so they can do it behind closed doors.
I would love for him to be.
I'd love him to pick it up, but I know just in case he is banned, it doesn't look good in the club, innit? But he is a good lad, bro. Yeah, he's obviously taking it for the right reasons. But in life, you can't do wrong things for the right reasons, innit? You're still doing the wrong thing. Anyway, so who's playing left back, guys? Who's gonna play left back?
It's Cucurella, isn't it?
Probably gonna be Cucurella. He's always played Cucurella consistently there.
Cucurella left back. We already know who's playing left centre back. You got Colwell. Now,
I would assume so. Like, maybe I think if he's trying to be serious for the final, I hope he would play him. Maybe.
Robert, he was literally sitting with Neto.
With
James.
Yeah.
Reece James. Yeah, he's gonna play. What? Okay, tell me what you thought. Go on.
I think he will give Badiashile the nod for the final.
Wow.
Why is that? Why would he give?
Because he's the same logic he gave for Jorgensen. Like, Jorgensen has been the one in the Conference League, and Badiashile has been the centre back in the Conference League. And I mean, I don't think he's that particularly bad in it. So I mean, I'm just my 2 cents say it'll be Badiashile, but you can go with Colwell as well. But
chat, what do you think? Because me and Ahmed probably think it's going to be Levi, but let's see what the chat. Do you agree with Maresca's decision of bringing Jorgensen and Badiashile, or should we just go with Colwell because he's done well and he's in great form? And that also begs the question about these two positions here. Does Reece James start? Does Tosin start again? It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's probably I think of this one you have to play Chalobah because I think they're not going to be a bit more of a heading threat. So
they're going to be more like physicality.
They don't have a big striker, do they?
Yeah, they don't have a big striker.
No. They're more like pacey, and Chalobah's got a bit more pace. Tosin's quite slow, right? So it's going to be Chalobah and Badiashile. You know what? Let's listen to Robert this one, Ahmed. Let's go Badiashile because Rob makes a good point. He does make a good point.
And also because these players played, Tosin and Levi played on Sunday. And Maresca was lamenting the fact that Betis had an extra rest than we did.
Great point. He did say that. He was like, well, how comes they got an extra day and we don't?
So, I think he'll probably bring in as many fresh legs as possibly can.
But he'll keep the spine, but the fresh legs where he can, like these two.
Yeah.
I think the attack will probably be, you know what? I think the attack will probably be the same, but and the midfield.
Yeah.
But I think it will be the
midfield. The midfield?
Even I think Caicedo Enzo still play.
Enzo, yeah.
Lavia, remember, Lavia's ineligible for this game.
So we can already put these two in. We'll cross back in a second.
Yeah, facts.
These two. I think we already know the wingers, right? Is it going to be Noni and Neto?
Only Neto, I think, for me, yeah. Maybe Sancho, maybe
Neto. I think.
Yeah. Do you think he'll go with quite attacking where he puts Palmer, Neto, and Noni on the left?
No, I was just wondering who is going to play left and who's going to play right.
I think if we've got no strike, if we've got no false nine, he'll put Noni on the left.
Noni on the left. I'm thinking Neto on the left because he likes to put Neto on the side of the threatening attacker for the other team. Like against Everton, he put him on the right because India was on the right? Against what position did he play against Forest? Oh, Neto was a strike against Forest, right?
Neto
Yeah, he
striker,
was.
yes. Noni was on the right.
Yeah. So
And Palmer switched left half space, right half space.
yeah, I think Neto left, Noni right, Palmer in the middle. I think
Which makes sense because he did it against Newcastle. Remember Newcastle? Pedro Neto got assist on the left as well. Either way, they're gonna swap anyway.
Yeah.
And then Palmer up front. And we're left with the right back. So do you think Gusto will play or do you think he'll go? I think he'll go with Reece James.
No.
I think it'll be Gusto. I think Gusto's gonna get a chance, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Reece James.
Robin Ahmed is saying he's gonna change this much for the final.
What the managing is fitness. I think it'll be Gusto.
Yeah, it'll be Gusto Nation, I'll be honest. Yeah.
1-all. That's the name. So we've gone for guys, me, Ahmed, and Robert have gone for Jorgensen. It's called 1-all. Jorgensen comes in for Sanchez. Obviously, he's been playing the Conference League. Badiashile for the same reason. Cucurella, obviously, because he's one of the main captains of the team and he's only left back. Chalobah for the difference because of the pace. Gusto because of Conference League football, and he's gone with the same front five here, or midfield five. And then Jackson comes into the team because obviously Mark Gui's not fit, and obviously with no other strikers. So it looks to be this probably could be the team.
And plus, with Badiashile, by the way, I know people are asking about Badiashile.
Yeah.
Realistically, I don't think Badiashile is going to be here next season. You know what I mean? Unless something changes that I'm unaware about. So if he has a good show in here, again, it's only good for the club as well. From a Badiashile perspective as well.
Yeah, and you guys are very confident about this team who was to play tonight?
Oh yeah, 100.
Yeah, I'm quite confident about the team today.
Yeah.
And then we've got obviously on the bench you would have Sancho, you would have George, the Mark Gui who might make an appearance. I doubt it. In Cook, who might make his last appearance for the club, depending on the score. Dewsbury Hall will probably come on. And
Reece James will be on.
Reece James will probably come on.
Yeah, Tosin.
I think for me, the only change I could probably see happening would probably be Gusto out for James. And maybe he goes to Levi Colwill because of the weekend. That's one just like Cigar just said. I think, guys, when it's one of those games where the manager's got to make a big choice. Do you go with your informed centre back, or do you go with your guy who you've relied on the whole tournament?
I can make the same. We can make the same point for Jorgensen.
Yep.
And Robert Sanchez.
Exactly.
True. But the only reason why I'm saying Levi Colwill might start is because he did the presser with Reece James.
Is it? I mean, there's been the Conference League. Usually, there's been a lot of players that have done presses that haven't started yet. On game week. So I remember a presser that Tosin made, and then he didn't start the following. But he was just a presser because the club wanted when was it? I don't know, some turmoil, and they wanted somebody that speaks well. Like I can't remember during the protests, I believe. And so Tosin was the one that did the presser, but he didn't play. Yeah. I think they wanted to do Levi and Reece James just for these are academy lads from the academy.
Yeah, it's to represent. Yeah, 100%.
Reach the final.
Guys, it's a final.
I'm not gonna be mad if it's Colwill and Ray and James.
100%. Why do you guys keep saying this is the final, guys? This is the final. What do you guys mean by this? Are you saying we should not play these players? Be clear what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I have a feeling Hall might start. Someone said that as well. Tactically, it's a weak defense. It is a weaker defense. I would agree. I'm not gonna lie. Do you guys agree with that? I know it's Betis, but do you not think Badiashile is a bit of a liability? Could be.
Listen, he could be a liability, but at the same time, I think he should be solid enough for Real Betis. And again, listen, we need to get some money. So this is a good opportunity for him to show that he's good enough.
Last game of the season, I think we should go full strength. But obviously, there's a bit of that, but you also can't drop all the players that got you here. Like, remember Garnacho, what he said after the final Europa League? I know. Shout out Robert's best player, by the way. That's Robert's best player. If you didn't know, get to know.
I think,
Anyway,
I think that's a bit different context because
no, but Robert, I was about to give the context. I was going to
Yeah,
say, obviously, they got a mad change room. They finished 15th. They're in a terrible season. But the point still remains, in it. It's like he played every single game, then he's got dropped. So even though it's different context, it's still a bit harsh to someone like Badashile.
Yeah.
Because he's played all the games.
And then you
just like,
yeah.
And he's done nothing wrong, and you just drop him. Jorgensen as well. He's done nothing wrong in the Conference League.
Yeah.
He's fine, isn't it? So
plus, Jorgensen knows this competition. If you want to give like a little bit of credit to Jorgensen, he faced Real Betis over the last few years. He's been at Villarreal too. So
that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
He played in the Spanish League. Yeah.
So
he kind of knows. He was only there last year.
Yep, he was just there last year too.
Yeah. Fair enough. Let's close this down. People, that's our preview. That's the team we've gone for as well, just on the screen just now. Quickly, before Robert goes, how do you think the game will go? Do you feel it will be quite straightforward? Do you think they'll score first? Do you think Chelsea will be under pressure and will have to come back? Or do you think it will be kind of a cruise? How do you see it going?
I think it will be quite a competitive fixture, in my personal opinion. Be quite competitive. Again, it's going to be a lot. I think hopefully the lads have learned from last year, being in the final and
that's
the
semi-final.
That's a great
point. The experience from last final.
The last two. So I think for me, the guys will get the first score, hopefully, and then they'll put pressure on Real Betis, and then we can just counter them. So I'll probably say a nice little 2-1, if not a 2-0, in my personal opinion.
Robert.
4-1 Chelsea.
4-1.
Wow.
Yeah. Jackson Brace, Cole Palmer, and Enzo Fernandez.
Hey, you forgot to say your favorite line.
Huh?
You forgot to say your favorite line. Robert, you forgot to say your favorite line after what you just said.
Book it.
Bookmark it. That's the one I was looking for. Why did you say that, man? You ruined it. I need to hear that. 4-1, Ches. Bookmark it.
Yeah, 4-1. Book it.
Book it. Hey, my prediction will be. I'm also a bit more pessimistic when it comes to these games. I'm going to say 2-1. I think we'll score twice, and I think they actually will try and come back. I can see Fornal scoring, an ex-Premier League player, Bellerin, or something like that. Someone stupid like that scoring.
Bellerin,
I was actually going to go to the final, but I decided not to go to watch it at home. So hopefully I have a good time. You guys will enjoy it at home as well. Thanks everyone for joining, man. Robert's on here. Hope we're getting back soon. Maybe with a big update, maybe a big transfer. Get Robert's opinion on there. No more Premier League games now for another, a long time. We've got a couple of Cup coming up.
Yeah, 2.5 months. Yeah, but we got plenty of work.
Club months, but we're not going to be. We're going to be playing until probably July.
No, we're going to have a break. World Cup in June, bro.
You know what? We've got no break.
No. We actually don't go. Because it starts mid-June, right? But then it ends around about beginning of July. But then the preseason is gonna start. When does the preseason start? What, mid-July? No.
Do we have a preseason?
I think the Club World Cup is our preseason, bro.
Yeah, I don't think we have a preseason this year.
So then, man. So we're gonna be relaxing.
I think we have a little break after this for literally about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then they go to
the players, the international, the Nations League going on. So the Palmers and the Rich James and the Netos, they're going to their national teams.
Yeah, okay. So they'll have about they won't have that long. They'll have only like a week off. They'll have like a week off. Then there's Club World Cup. Then depending how far we get in that, let's say it's 2-3 weeks, and then we've got a little break again, and then it's into the Premier League season. Literally, Premier League season starts. It always starts earlier. I think it starts. Last year it started really early. It started like middle of August.
So it might be the same this season. You know,
it might be the same with like the 28th of August, something like that.
Like that.
18th, now whatever it is. But anyway, Robert, where can I buy the book it merch? Yo, you need to do this, Robert, man. You got a large following.
That would be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. My face on a t-shirt with the word book it.
Book it. And then you just put the book it like that. July 27th. Huh?
That's not what the
No.
It's the 16th of August. 16th of August.
No, I'm about to say this is way too early. I'm about to do what? That's literally bro, we're in May. That's like 2 months away. Yeah, that's mad. Anyway, be up Real Betis. Hey, you're a kid rival. Hold that, man.
This guy out.
Yeah, we're a dodgy cat. Get out of here. Anyway, love people. Subscribe follow Robert on Twitter below. Ahmed's channel's there, The Bridge Nation, and on Twitter, the same name as well. We'll see you guys in a bit. Back tomorrow. Hopefully win. Up the Chelsea. Let's go.